Hi there, and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we'll be learning ratios, okay? And under ratios, we'll be learning about sharing with ratios. We'll be learning to share with ratios. Now, as the lesson progresses, anything you don't understand, be sure to get across to your tutor, who would be more than happy to help. And yes, let's jump right into the lesson. So, ratios, sharing with ratios. Now, in the last lesson, we learned to compare quantities using ratios, okay? And this time around, we're going to learn to share with ratios. Now, basically, what we're going to be doing in this lesson is it's a bit like the opposite of what we did before. Okay, now we can share a quantity using a given ratio. Now, in the last lesson, we learned basically we're often given two quantities and we're asked to solve for the ratio of those two values. But this time around, what we're going to do is we have a situation where we have the ratio given, okay, and we need to work out the quantities. Okay, so you have the ratio given and the total quantity, okay, and then we need to work out the individual quantities. But let's understand what this is about. So here's an example. Okay, so there are 40 people in the bus, okay, and then we're told that the ratio of men to women in the bus is 3:5, and then we've been asked to find how many men there are on that bus. Okay, so the last time around we were told you had questions where you were asked to solve. For example, you had 10 boys and 15 girls. What is the ratio? Okay, so there you already have the quantity was already shared. Okay, but this time around you're given the ratio and you're asked to share the quantity. So you're told that there are 40 people on the bus, okay, and you need to share this quantity using the ratio 3:5 to know exactly how many men there are on the bus and how many women. Okay, now how do we go about doing this? Now, there are three steps to sharing with ratios. Okay, three very simple steps. Okay, and I want you to follow very closely. Okay, so when you're looking to share a quantity, so we're looking to share 40 people in the ratio 3:5, where 3 represents men. Okay, now when you work in ratios, you need to be very clear. It says ratio of men to women. Okay, men to women 3:5. Okay, 3 stands for men and 5 stands for women. Okay, now when you're looking to share with ratios, the first thing you want to do is you want to add the ratio values to obtain the sum. Okay, so you say 3:5, you add 3 and 5 together, it give you 8. That's the first thing you do. So the first thing you want to do, add the numbers in the ratio, add the ratio values together to give you the sum. Now, after that, write the ratio values as fractions of the sum. Okay, so the sum is 8, okay, and what I'm going to do is the fraction for men, I'm going to say 3/8. Okay, so because men, the 3 stands for men, okay, I'm going to say 3, write the ratio value as a fraction of the sum. So we're going to write the ratio value 3 as a fraction of 8, so 3/8. Okay, so first thing you do, find the sum, okay, and then write the ratio value as a fraction of the sum. So for men, the ratio value for men is 3, okay, and the sum is 8, so you say 3/8. And you do the same for women. The ratio value for women is 5, okay, and we have the sum is 8, so we have 5/8. So the fraction for men is 3/8, the fraction for women is 5/8. And from this point, you just share the quantity using the fraction. What you do is for men, for the number of men, you just say 3/8 times the total number of people you have there. So 3/8 times 40, and 3/8 times 40 would give you 15. Okay, so basically there are 15 men. If you share 40 using the ratio 3:5, the 3 value would result in 15. So there are 15 men on this bus. And if you actually, for let's say you're looking to do for women as well, you simply say 5/8 times 40, and that will give you 25. So very simple. That's it. So basically, what we have is we have 15 men on the bus and 25 women on the bus. When you share 40 people in the ratio 3:5, okay, you end up with 15 and 25. Okay, and if you add 15 and 25 together, guess what? You get 40. So if you're looking to share using a given ratio, the first thing you do is you add the ratio values together to obtain the sum. Okay, first thing. The second thing you want to do is you want to write down the ratio values as fractions of the sum. So in this case, we had our sum as 8, okay, and our ratio values are 3 and 5. So we have 3 over 8 and 5 over 8, okay. And then the next thing you want to do is to find the quantity for each of these ratio values. You simply multiply each of the fractions by the total quantity that you're looking to share, basically. In this case 40, and you share 3 over 8 times 40. When you work that, you have 15. 5 over 8 times 40 over 1. When you work that, you have 25. And that is how you share using a given ratio. Now let's go ahead and do a few examples. So we have example 1, and we've been told that Kyle and Chloe share $45 in the ratio 5 to 4 respectively. So respectively, like I said, we have Kyle and Chloe, okay, 5 to 4. What that means is that 5 is for Kyle and 4 is for Chloe. So we've been asked to find Chloe's share. And to find Chloe's share, quite simply, sharing with the ratio, the first thing you want to do is you want to find the sum. So the sum in this case is 5 plus 4. It gives you 9. Okay. And then for Chloe, the fraction, Chloe's ratio value is 4. So we have 4 over 9. Okay. So we're writing the ratio value as a fraction of the sum. Okay. And then right after that, for Chloe's share, we simply say 4 over 9 times $45, and when you multiply that out, you should end up with $20, and that's it. Very simple, very straight. Can you work out Kyle's share? Okay, if you just pause the video for a second and try to work out Kyle's share. Okay, work out Kyle's share. Example 2. Now, if you worked out Kyle's share, you should have ended up with 5 over 9 times 45, and you definitely should have ended up with $25. Okay, so Kyle's share in the last example would definitely have given you $25. But now, let's do example 2. Example 2, share 28 in the ratio 2 to 5. Okay, very, very simple. Now, the sum, the first thing you always do is to find the sum. So you have 2 plus 5 gives you 7. Okay, and we're going to share 28 in the ratio 2 to 5. Okay, so there will be a smaller share, and 2 is the ratio value for the smaller share. Okay, and 5 is the ratio value for the larger share. And for the smaller share, we have 2 out of 7. Okay, and then basically you just say 2 over 7 times 28, and you should end up with 8. Okay, because you have 7 here, 1, 7 and 28 will give you 4, 2 times 4 would give you 8. Similarly, if you're doing for the larger share, you should have 5 over 7, and then 5 over 7 times 28 should give you 20. So sharing 28 in the ratio 2 to 5 would give you 8 and 20. Simple, straightforward. Final example. Okay, this one looks very interesting. So we have a piece of cloth was cut unevenly. Okay, unevenly means it wasn't cut, that the cut wasn't cut equally. Okay, so it was cut given a ratio. Okay, it was cut using a ratio, in this case 5 to 7. So the ratio of the smaller piece, the larger piece, was 5 to 7. So the ratio value for the smaller piece is 5, and the ratio value for this larger piece is 7. Now, if the larger piece was 84 centimeters long, find the length of the cloth. Okay, now this is actually very interesting. Okay, because we're sharing something using a given ratio, and we're not told exactly how long the original cloth is. But the information we have here is that after sharing this cloth using this ratio, the larger piece, so that 7 value ratio gave us 84 centimeters. And in a way, we're looking to work back, okay, and get the length of the original piece of cloth. Now, how do we go about doing this? Now, following the same process, okay, so the first thing we do is we find the ratio sum, okay, and we have 5 plus 7, in this case it gives us 12. Now, the larger piece, the fraction for the larger piece would be 7 over 12. And if you recall, when you're sharing with ratio, okay, let's assume the length of the cloth, let's call that C, okay, you would multiply that 7 over 12 by the original length of the cloth, and that would give you the length of the larger piece, in this case 84. So 7 over 12 times something gives you 84. Okay, 7 over 12 times something gives you 84. And to find that something, you quite simply need to divide 84 by 7 over 12. So if you multiply 7 over 12 by something to give you 84, to find that thing, you just divide 84 by 7 over 12. And you have C equals 84 times divided by 7 over 12. 84, you flip the fraction, okay, if you remember how to divide using fractions. And then you have 7 here, 7, 1, 7 and 84 will give you 12. You have 12 times 12, you should end up with 144 centimeters, okay. And that would bring us to the end of this very simple lesson, okay? Sharing with ratios, very easy, okay? You can now go ahead and attempt questions on the worksheet. Bye for now.